Welcome to Beyond the Dugout, presented by Las Vegas. I figured we are in a galaxy full of stars, but why not try to go ahead and catch one of the shooting stars, pluck one of our all-stars out of the sky, and that's exactly what we did. We went and got Brent Rooker, two-time all-star for your athletics. And Rook, this conversation is going to be centered around not only the path to all-star stardom, but kind of what happens when you get there. So first and foremost, what was it like? Because, I mean, it's happened a couple times now, but what was it like when you very first got the call notifying you, buddy, you're one of the best in the game. You're an all-star.
It was extremely exciting. This year was Cots calling me pretty early in the morning, just kind of right after I woken up on that Sunday morning to let me know that I was going to go to Atlanta. Obviously, it doesn't get old. Just, being the second time to receive that news doesn't make it any less special than it was the first time. So, I was fired up to go with Jacob. Obviously, he already knew he was going, so being able to go with a teammate makes it even more fun. It was a special call for sure.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Is this time around, it's not just a solo ride. It's not a solo mission. You get to experience this with somebody who has also been very deserving. What was it like to be able to go along that journey? We're talking red carpet. We're talking breakfast, lunch, and dinners with guys, but being able to do that with especially a guy like Jay Willie, right? First time starting a rookie shortstop through a vote at the All-Star game. How cool was that to be there with a teammate?
Really cool, especially for a guy as young as Jacob is, to really obviously his rookie season, to watch him kind of go through that and get that experience too, and see the way he interacted with guys, see how much respect the guys who have been in the league for 10, 11, 12 years have for him already, and what he's able to do was awesome. And obviously just being there alone in 23, still super fun, but you're a little more to yourself.
Sure.
A little more, guys have their teammates. You're just trying to stay in the way. Having a guy with you there made it even more enjoyable.
So you talk about kind of being there by yourself. Now you have a teammate as pitchers. Typically you see guys, hey, what do you got? What are you working with? I mean, it's a grip session almost immediately. Yeah. Sometimes that's slowed down because I think Mariano Rivera is still getting banged in kangaroo court for showing Doc his cutter in the All-Star game. But was there an opportunity for you to maybe pick the brain of an individual or individuals, or did you just find yourself in that group discussion about the craft of hitting? Because you are, as you know, you're one of my favorites to talk to about that for a lot of different reasons. But did you find that opportunity, and what was that like?
Yeah, for sure. I obviously had to talk to Cal, figure out what he's doing. He's got 39 homers now as of July 23rd, so I had to just, what are you doing, man? What you got going on?
Right.
He's showing he's working on some fields he had, which is super cool. And then a lot of my time honestly was spent hanging around the pitchers, eavesdropping, trying to figure out. I was doing my warm up in the weight room, and Hader, Carlos Esteves, and Munoz. They're all three closers, three back-end bullpen, elite back-end bullpen guys are in there talking about some stuff, and I was just trying to keep my distance, but also listen at the same time, see what they were talking about. They caught me, they laughed at me, they thought it was pretty funny. I was trying to, especially two in-division guys like Hader and Munoz, any information I get would be extremely helpful. But whether it's pitching side, hitting side, just being around guys of that caliber, you can't help but learn some things and walk away with some new information.
Some days are long, some nights never end. I mark the fleeting seconds glide, I pray to the coming wind. And timelines never stood around for me. I've loved every sky I've
What was one thing that you experienced the second time around that maybe you experienced the first time around but was different, or you realize, it's not that big of a deal, or it is kind of this, it is a big deal here. I don't care how many times I come back, I'm going to remember this, or maybe something that had changed because your time is in full demand there. I mean, from the minute that you wake up and arrive, you're being pulled in all kind of different directions. So was there an experience that was similar, or maybe that has changed from the first time around to now?
I mean, the things that were similar is how fun of an event it is, how good a job the league does, and the host city does as well, putting it on and hosting all of us and our families, making it, like you said, it's a chaotic 2 days. It is jam-packed with stuff. There's never any free moments, but they do a good job making it enjoyable, making it memorable. The difference for me was I was more outgoing this time, and I think I was more comfortable. I have, obviously, in 23 was kind of my first full season, so I didn't really know many guys around the league. Now I haven't been in the league for 3 years. You develop those relationships with guys in your division you play against all the time, with pitchers you face, with hitters you you go up against and compete against. So I was able to kind of get out, talk with some more guys, be a little bit more social and outgoing. Just being in a more comfortable environment than I was in 23 for sure.
We're going to go a little beyond the dugout, presented by Las Vegas, and realize you had an incredible moment this year at the All-Star game. I mean, for me, many incredible moments. But I want to dive into the decision-making process that goes into not only saying yes to the home run derby, but then identifying the dude who's going to be chucking meatballs to you.
Sure.
And that's a very special relationship. You've talked about that. But for the folks who are just kind of tuning in and checking this out for the first time, it was a great, great moment for you. And there's a lot of different reasons why. Can you kind of take us through that process?
Yeah. Even before I found out, the league and the people who make those decisions, I've kind of been feeling out, like, would I be willing to do it if the opportunity presents itself? And I made it very clear, like, yeah, like if there's a spot open and we need someone to fill it, I'm more than down to do it. Sounds like a blast. Sounds super exciting. I'm more than willing to participate in that. And then got that call, I guess. It was we were off, so it had to be a Monday.
Sure.
Because we were in Napa doing some stuff with some friends. Got a call that I had gotten in there, and first call for me was to Joe, who you mentioned, who has been throwing me BP since I was 9 years old. Known him forever. He's probably seen me take more swings than just about anybody in the world. I started doing hitting lessons with him when I was 9 to 14. He started coaching me at 14, coached me 14 in summer ball through high school, and then he throws BP to me now in the offseasons back in Memphis. So I've spent a lot of time in the cage with him, have hit a lot of balls off BP, dart toss, soft toss, whatever it is. Spent a lot of time in the cage together, and it was a pretty easy choice for me to make.
What a move! Absolutely brilliant!
Well, not only was it an easy choice, I think he deserves a lot of credit because he was absolutely dialed in, even so much so to the point, we're not going to belabor this, but I just want to remind folks, in my opinion, you are staring at the 2025 Home Run Derby champion because, as he alluded to, Rook, the man was dialed in, as efficient as you could possibly hope for. You guys ran out of baseballs, you ran out of time, and as far as I'm concerned, Cal Raleigh had a horseshoe up his rear end because he ended up winning that darn thing. But to your point, he's had
Cal,
a great
I didn't say that. If Cal happens to see the video, I didn't say it. Dallas did.
These words are out of my mouth, and I have no problem doubling down, Cal. We'll see you soon. But, Rook, being able to be there on the red carpet is a moment that you get to enjoy personally for yourself, but just having the conversation about having your hitting coach, longtime hitting coach, helping you out at the Derby, it speaks to the kind of person you are. And with your family there on the red carpet, enjoying those moments, for me, one of the greatest moments of the entire celebration of All-Stars was you feeding your baby during the home run derby. And I know you caught some flack for that by some absolute inhumane individuals, by the way. You got a problem with a man feeding his kid at the derby. You got problems. How cool was that? Did you have like a pinch me moment, like this is crazy?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Just sitting there, obviously, with Allie, feeding Blake, and then watching Blair kind of dance around and do her thing while the derby was going on was really, really cool and kind of a memory that I'll forever have. But yeah, anybody who got upset about that, and the main thing was like, what, somebody else couldn't do it? I was like, look, man, you're obviously not married and don't have kids. Because my wife's been holding that baby for 8 straight hours, like by herself with a toddler also. So I sat back down and she was just like, this is yours. Like, you might have a 30-minute break. This is yours for those 30 minutes because I've had her for 8 hours. And it was bottle time. So, that was a pretty special moment, especially just a visual holding, Allie sitting next to me holding Blake, and then Blair just kind of acting like a maniac, dancing around everywhere was pretty cool.
Well, I think it does. It really encapsulates who you are, who your family is, fun-loving, enjoying the moment, and understanding that it's been a journey to get to the point that you are at now. But to see you enjoy it and to see you celebrate it, I think puts a smile on a lot of people's faces. Having an opportunity to reflect now, and I think you're the type of individual who will probably pull your head up and maybe take a look at things after the season is over, not something that you do right now. But if you have had a moment, what have you been able to sort of digest just about your experience now, having been to the All-Star game and part of the celebration for a couple years now, and this time with your entire family in tow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just how lucky and fortunate I am to be in that position to be able to, not only go once, but to go back a second time. I think the main takeaway I have every time is just how many good people are around this game. I mean, you get there in that clubhouse and you hang out with guys for 2 days, so you spend all year competing against, and you realize that there's kind of good dudes across the league. Man, everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's just trying to enjoy themselves, take it all in. We all realize how lucky and how fortunate we are to get to do this job and get to do it for a living and compete against the best in the world. And to get around guys and realize everybody kind of shares that same experience is always cool. You feel like you leave those 2 days feeling like you're super close, super good friends with guys that you really only hung out with for 2 days, but because you play against them so often, you see them doing their thing out there, you respect them so much that it's cool to get to hang out with guys that you, like I said, spend so much time competing against.
Well, you're punching the clock in a membership that very few ever get to join, and deservedly so. You are a part of that brotherhood, that inner circle brotherhood forever. We've been Beyond the Dugout, presented by Las Vegas. Let's take one last tiptoe inside the dugout. You are right in the thick of an incredibly exciting group here with the Athletics moving forward. How fun is it for you to know not only that you're a part of and as much of the heartbeat of this group as anybody, but to be able to watch some of the youth that is now surrounding you, that is going to be a big part of what you guys do, not only now, but into the future, knowing you play a big role in that.
Yeah, watching the development of our guys is really cool. Watching them succeed at such a young age, honestly, watching them struggle and learn how to struggle, because as you know, to have success in this league, you got to learn how to struggle, because you're going to. It's inevitable. Everybody does. You got to learn how to deal with it. You got to learn how to come out of it. You got to learn how to compartmentalize it and use it to your advantage to make yourself a better player and a better teammate and a better professional. And watching the young guys get to experience those things for the first time, get to experience those hot streaks, get to experience the cold streaks or the slumps, and learn how to deal with those is enjoyable for me to sit back and watch, because I recognize that as they're going through it, it's ultimately going to build us into a better team in the next 2 to 3 years. Even next year when we get to places where we're looking to compete at a high level. So it's just super exciting. It's super cool for me, like I said, to watch them experience all those things, knowing that the process that they're going through and the growth that they're experiencing right now is going to get us where we want to go.
Well, Rook, I can tell you it does not hurt that they also have a veteran like you in the room, that they can go and tap into the intellect and the institutional knowledge that you possess, and your ability to articulate it, I know, is paying dividends daily. I want to thank you for taking the time, congratulate you again on the career that you have created for yourself, because you are not just one, that's right, a 2-time, should have been a 3-time, and is your 2025 Home Run Derby champion, Brent Rooker. Again, Beyond the Dugout, presented by Las Vegas. Rook,
thanks, Dallas.
thank you, brother.
You're too kind.
Appreciate
Enjoyed it.
your time, man.